Thanks for making dinner.
No problem. I'm gonna bag that stuff up and put it inside the fridge.
Yes, I got a Ziploc baggies for it all.
Oh, thank you.
Here we go live. 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 Oh, come on. Why must you do this to me, you silly computer? Here we go live. Here we go live. Here we go live. Here we go live. Oh, I gotta turn that music off. Ah, hello, peoples. We are here. We are live. We are not Memorex. How many of us remember those Memorex commercials? Now the guy's sitting in a chair and he's just like, and he reaches over, grabs his beverage as the music's playing. Is it live or is it Memorex? Oh God, I should have done that. Anyways, peoples, happy Testify Tuesday. Yep, Testify Tuesday. What are we doing today? That is the question, isn't it? Yep, what are we doing today? Maybe we should start off with a story. Let me ask you a question, and I'm going to be honest on this one. If you were to go on a long trip through the desert, over mountains, what would you take with you? Would you take your computer? Or would you take a laptop? Would you take your cell phone? Would you take your desk? How about your bed? Would you take your whole closet of clothing? Would you take everything that's in your freezer or your pantry? Would you take all your jewelry and all your watches, all your shoes? Would you take all your furniture that you have in your bedroom? Most of you probably would say no, you wouldn't take any of that. You'd take the bare minimum. Especially if you're walking. You're walking in the woods. See, when you're traveling, you try and tend to create a rule for yourself of taking the bare necessities of what you need, not what you want. And that's called discipline. When you make a decision to get what you need as opposed to what you want, you've officially set up a rule for yourself, a curve, a guideline that basically says, you know what, I could take this, but I'm not going to take it because if I take this, it's going to make my life a little bit harder than if I took the bare minimum. And see, that's how we should live our lives. Because see, we want freedom, but we lack the discipline to prune the things that we really don't need out of it. Because see, sometimes we need that workout. But do we need that $7 coffee? Sometimes we need to pay that NIPSCO bill. But do we really need that Netflix bill? Sometimes we need to go to work. do we really need to go out to the bars and hang out with the boys? See, how many of you have ever said, but I just want to be free to do whatever I want to do? Well, no. Freedom to do whatever you want to do is also the freedom to make a decision on what you need to do, what you can do, and what you really don't need to do. See, freedom is not doing what you want. Freedom is becoming who you're meant to be. Freedom is deciding to do something that you need as opposed to doing something that you want. And freedom isn't found in the absence of rules. It's found in the presence of purpose. What you plan on doing with your life, that's, hey, Natasha, what you plan on doing with your life, that's where your discipline comes from. See, freedom isn't the ability to do whatever you want to do. Freedom is the ability to make that decision on what's important and what's not. Because see, like I was talking about, when we go on a trip, we're not going to pack our desk with us because we don't need the desk. We might need our laptop, but we don't need the desk. If we're going to go on that trip, we're just going to pack 2 or 3 items of clothing because we need fresh clothing. We're not going to pack the whole closet. I mean, we could. We have that choice. But we have the freedom to do that. But the discipline in there says, no, don't do that. You don't need to do that. Because if you do that, that's going to make your life harder. You're going to have so much more stuff to carry. So, discipline is the steering wheel to your life. While freedom is your open road. But without that steering wheel, regardless on how open that road is, you're going to crash. I mean, don't take this the wrong way, but even I have seen people crash into a light pole in the middle of a parking lot where there's only one light pole in the whole parking lot. I mean, how do you do that? Big, huge honking parking lot, and they still hit the pole. Just don't understand. So our discipline isn't necessarily a rule. It isn't necessarily our prison. It isn't our lack of freedom. It is our freedom. It is our freedom to try and make decisions for ourselves. That gives us the freedom of choice. We can take our whole closet with us on our trip. We can buy that $7 coffee. We can go hang out with the boys. But what is it going to do for us in the long run? And so therefore, that's where the discipline comes in play. Is we can do it, but is it really benefiting us in some way or another? And so that's where discipline comes in and tells us that, hey, if it's not benefiting you, then why do it? See, small daily disciplines compounded into creates that unstoppable momentum. When you get crushed, and I want to try and once again bring up Natasha's book, Crushed but Unstoppable. All right, it's on Amazon, I think. I want to promote that. When you are crushed by life in general, but you focus on those little tiny wins, that unstoppable wins that you can try and do on a daily basis, your discipline compounds into that confidence that helps you win even greater. See, your momentum is built in the minutes, not the hours that you spend on something. The minutes you take out to work out in the morning on that trampoline, the minutes you take in the morning walking around a block, those minutes you take out in the morning not getting that $7 coffee, those minutes you take out reading that book, those minutes you take out focusing on your own personal mantra that you are somebody, that you can do it. Those minutes that you take out giving yourself positive motivation affirmations, those minutes build the momentum for your own self-confidence. Those minutes build the momentum for your own self-discipline. Those minutes that you take out, they encourage your freedom habits. And when I say freedom habits, I mean those little routines that protect your peace and your progress. Because see, you need to repeat that my freedom is my follow-through. You need to tell that in the morning to yourself. You need to tell that at night to yourself. My freedom is my follow-through. Because you know what? Yes, discipline is a pain in the butt. Yes, you don't get to try and do all the cool things you want to do. But that's because of the fact that there's other things that you'd rather want to do. Discipline gives you the freedom to choose what's going to benefit you in the long run as opposed to what you want to do now. Because the things that you do now compound into the freedom you can have later. See, the pain of discipline is the sacrifice of going out and hanging out with the boys on the weekends. Spending all that money on beer and booze and God knows what else. It's the loneliness sitting at home reading positive motivational books, studying your business plan, studying your schoolwork, studying how to be a better employee, or studying how to try and start that new business project, or studying on how to try and be that nurse or working on that new habit you want to do. It's that grind. That's the sacrifice of discipline. But you know what? That pain is the price of your progress. Because in time, the work that you're putting in now, the grind that you're putting in now, while everybody else is out having a good time, later on, you're going to be enjoying the freedoms of choice of what you want to do, while everybody else is still paying on those credit cards. Is still paying off their car loans. Is still paying off their houses. Do you know how many houses I paid off in my entire life? I paid 2 houses off. 2 houses and 2 buildings off in my entire life. I paid them off. How many people here could say that they paid them off? I don't see anybody typing anything in chat. And I've got 8, 10, 16, 3. Yeah, see? Nobody. I paid my house off. Not once. Not twice. But 4 times. Because of the fact that I focused on the pain of getting it done, more importantly, than what was important on having fun. Hey, Beth. See, pain is the price of progress. You know, when you stay disciplined, quitting does look easier. I mean, I'm not going to say. When you focus on your project when you focused on your work, when you focused on the business idea, when you focus on your classroom, when you focus on the things that you want in your life and you focus on the work to get it done, the little voice in the back of your head that says, quit, it's easy. You can just stop, just go lay down and take a nap. And it looks easy. It sounds easy. It sounds tempting. So very tempting. But you know what? In WOW University, we don't teach that. We teach discipline is the foundations of winning. In the Learn to Win Academy, discipline is the foundation of winning. You don't need that $7 coffee. You want it. I want $1 million. Do I need it? Well, yeah, I do if I'm going to buy the campground I want, but that's neither here nor there right now. I'm not ready for it. When I'm ready for it, I'll have it, and I won't want it. See, discipline is deciding what is a need and what is a want, and then going with what the needs are and letting the wants go bye-bye. See, you don't need more time. You need more intention. You need to break out of your prison of your wants. Because everybody wants this. Everybody wants that. They want a new car. They want a new house. They want new paint on their walls. They want new windows for the house. They want an air conditioner because they're sweating in their office. They want new carpeting for their office because they're tired of stepping on things. People want things, but do they need it right now? That's the question. When really, the things that we really need, we all know. See, when we go on those trips, we are to take what we need, not what we want. We take our laptops. We take extra food. We take maybe an extra pair of shoes or maybe an extra pair of clothing. We don't haul our favorite chair with us. We don't haul our TVs. We don't haul our grandma's jewelry case. We don't haul picture frames and all that stuff like that. You know, I remember watching the Titanic with my mother years ago. And I thought it was hilarious that on the Titanic, the movie The Titanic, all right, the rich people are going and they're bringing all these trunks of stuff. And oh God, what was her name? Kate Winslet. She has all these trunks in her room, and they're opening up, and there's pictures and photographs and picture frames and all this stuff like that all over in the place that she's hauling with her. And she's got like 8 or 9 people with dollies dragging these crates around. Fast forward 100 years later, and she's on the helicopter on the way to that boat where they're exploring the sunken Titanic. And she's got her crates with her, and they're unloading all these photograph frames of stuff. And she goes, "Oh, I can't leave my pictures behind." And it's like, why would you carry all that stuff around? Talking about making a massive burden on yourself. I mean, you can't carry that all yourself. You're 100 years old. But, you know, that's the thing. Discipline is your freedom to choose. in my opinion, she chose poorly. Like in Indiana Jones, she chose poorly. Where the old Teutonic Knight or whatever his name, Templar Knight, when Indiana Jones goes to grab the cup, and one guy grabs the cup of the cup of Christ, grabs the prettiest cup out there, dips it in the water and drinks from it, and he ends up dying horribly. I mean, he just like disintegrates in front of you. And the Templar Knight goes, he chose poorly. And Harrison Ford, he goes ahead and grabs a carpenter's cup, a cup made out of wood, and he goes, "You've chosen proper. But there are so many things that you can do, blah, 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 blah. You cannot take it past this, blah, 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 blah." And with everything that we decide on, our discipline does have rules, but we set those rules for ourselves because we want a better life. See, discipline gives us freedom, but that freedom doesn't necessarily give us freedom to try to run rampant and go crazy. Because if we run rampant and go crazy, there's really nothing for us to live with. I mean, how do I put this in an easy way to put it? I mean, if we have the freedom to spend all our money, then we won't have any money. All right? Freedom isn't found in the absence of rules. It's found in the presence of purpose. And what are we going to use our money for? Are we going to use it to try and get drunk and high and spend it on God knows what? Or are we going to spend it on something that's going to better our lives? Or are we going to spend it on something that's going to better our children's lives? Or are we going to spend it on something that's going to better our legacy for ourselves and our families? That's what discipline's about. That's what freedom's about. The freedom to choose to make things better for ourselves. I mean, because once you try and throw all the money away on useless stuff, it's gone. I mean, you can spend your money on finances. You can spend your money on health, on your relationships. But you know what? The lack of discipline can lead to bondage in those things. You spend your money recklessly, you're going to be tied to credit card debt. But, oh, well, you know what? It's my money. I work hard for it. Well, yeah, you do work hard for it. I'm not going to deny that. But do you really want to work hard for it where you have to go to work every day to pay off this $1,000 credit card bill? Or this $50,000 car payment? What happens if you get sick during that time period? What happens if you get laid off? Or better yet, what happens if your relationship takes a nosedive and you no longer have half her income or half his income to help you out with a house payment? I don't know how many people I know of that bought a house together on both incomes, and one of them decided that they're done and left, leaving the other one with the house. The other one is left struggling, going through bankruptcy. I was there. I've been there. I've gone through bankruptcy in the 1990s with that exact situation. So, and that was because of lack of discipline. Lack of discipline can lead to bondage. You turn into a slave, working poor, where you're stuck with a job. You know what a job stands for, right? A JOB? A JOB stands for just over broke. You're stuck going to work every single day, making the bare minimum just to cover the costs of the bare minimum, to keep your head afloat. You're stuck in a rut that's a grave that the end's kicked in. And while discipline is the steering wheel while you're on the open road, And freedom is your open road. You can choose where you go. Hey, Beth. You can choose where you go. But if you decide to try and just go, sooner or later you're going to find that light pole in the middle of the parking lot. And you're going to hit it. Sooner or later you're going to hit that pothole that you can't see. Hi, lovely. Discipline is a steering wheel, then you try and focus on where you're going. It's not buying that $7 coffee because you can. It's not buying that $7 coffee because you choose to want something else instead. See, those small daily disciplines, choices that you make, compound into that unstoppable momentum. Momentum that is built in minutes, not hours. See, you build your future 1 minute at a time. 1 second at a time. There's 86,000 seconds in a day. And every second you spend, you're either building your future or destroying it, based on what you are looking at doing, based on what your choice is, and where you're going with your choice, and what choices you're making. Discipline isn't your prison. Discipline is your freedom. It's your decision to go out, hang out with the boys, drinking all night long, or stay home and work on your business plan. It's your decision to go out, hang out with the girls all night long, or work on your school project. Discipline is going to bed early so you can get up early in the morning. Something I lack doing. I admit. I'm guilty. We're discipline anonymous here. Hey, I admit it. I will also admit that after I'm done here, I'm going to upload everything and I'm going to go to bed. I will admit to that. I mean, I'm bona fide dead tired right now. So, I mean, I'll admit to that. Tomorrow's Wild Wednesday. I got to be charged for it. I mean, you can see the bags under my eyes. Yeah, I know. But you know, if discipline is a steering wheel and freedom is the open road, without one or the other, you're going to crash. I mean, I have seen people crash into a light pole in the middle of a parking lot when there's nothing else there. It happens. So, build your freedom habits. Those small little routines that protect your peace and your progress. $7 coffee isn't a lot. And I keep talking about it because I find it insane. I mean, I grew up with the 60 cent cup of coffee. I recall working at 7-Eleven when I was younger. This is like 4 decades ago. Working at 7-Eleven, and I'll never forget one Sunday morning I was working there, and we had this regular guy that would come in every Sunday. He's probably dead now. I mean, this is like 40 years ago, so, and he was old then. He would come in on Sunday mornings. He'd grab the Sunday paper. He'd get himself one of the smallest cups of coffee. He'd fill it up, make a cup of coffee, go stand over in a corner, drink his coffee, read the newspaper. He'd go over, refill his coffee, go back over, finish reading the newspaper. Go over, refill the coffee, grab the other newspapers that were, he'd read all 4 newspapers that would come out on Sunday morning in Chicago. We had the Chicago Sun-Times, we had the Chicago Tribune, we had the Market Park Leader thing, and there was another local one, that the News Market or something like that, I don't know. But he would be there for a good 5 hours. He'd come in at 8 o'clock in the morning, and by 1:30, he stood there all morning long, drinking coffee, reading every single newspaper there. And then he would come up to the front counter with his little coffee cup and count out 61 cents and put it on the counter. And I was like, you know, the newspaper is $1.25 on Sundays. That's Sun-Times. And the Chicago Tribune is $1.75. And the other two are 75 cents on Sundays as well, too. So it's like $5 right there. And I pulled out the paper where I checkmarked how many times he refilled his little small cup of coffee. Close to 11 times, if I remember right. I'm like, and you've got 11 cups of coffee here. I'm like, this is going to be like $10 worth of stuff. Oh, I can't believe you're trying to saying this. I'm like, well, sir, it's like this. We're here to sell coffee. We're here to sell newspapers. Of course, this was like actually the first Sunday I was manager with my new title, so I had to prove a point. So I pointed out that we're here to sell coffee and sell newspapers. We're not a library. He got so pissed at me, he threw the cup of coffee at me and left the 60 cents on the counter and ran out the door. True story. And you know what? The messed up thing is, he didn't think anything was wrong with that. And when he went to the store owner and complained to the store owner about that, the store owner actually said, you know what, he's been doing that for the last year, and you're the first person that had enough gall to stand up to him for that?
What are you explaining?
I'll tell you in a minute.
Tell me now.
Talking about how a guy threw a cup of coffee at me at 7-Eleven when I worked there. My very first Sunday as a assistant manager.
Oh, I would cook that guy's shit.
Yeah, well.
He'd get it.
Well, anyway, so...
I hope you know I'm still mad at you.
I love you too, sweetheart.
No, I'm mad at you.
All right, well, we'll talk about that after I'm done.
No, you won't. I wanted to talk about it earlier and you said no.
Okay. The point is that the pain of discipline, the sacrifice, the loneliness, the grind, it sucked having to tell somebody that they basically stole the information from the newspapers and that they stole all that coffee and that by throwing 60 cents at us was an insult.
Yeah, that is.
But you know what? It was something that needed to be done. I didn't want to do it. It needed to be done.
Did you ban him?
Yes. So discipline is also taking care of the things that you don't want to do, that you have to do. Discipline is a two-way street, unfortunately.
Did you make him pay you guys back for the 70 cents of every single day of the year?
No, we just banned him from the store and he never came back.
Oh. Well, I would hope not. He was banned.
So, with this in mind, people, you have to try and figure out what type of discipline you're willing to try and put. What kind of free... Okay, sweetheart, love you. All right, well, I love you too, sweetheart. Love you too, babe. What kind of discipline are you focusing on? Are you focusing on things that are going to build your future? Or are you focusing on things that are going to destroy your future? Or prolong your future? You say you want a better future for yourself. But are you willing to put through the pain and sacrifice now to have it? Yes, it is. Don't shut the window. It's too hot in here. I'm gonna melt. I'm melting. I'm gonna have to hook up the air conditioner. Oh.
Why is there duct tape on our front door?
Ooh, take that off.
Why?
Because it doesn't need to be there anymore.
Why is it on there in the first place?
What front door? Very front door?
Our front door. Like, our kitchen door.
Oh, then take it off.
Why is it there in the first
I
place?
put it there during the day so that Ron or Eric can come in and talk. Without ringing the doorbell, make me come up and open the door. Probably, at least I'll see him coming though. But you know what? Lock yourself in. Break out of your prison. Discipline is not a prison. Discipline is your freedom. Discipline is your freedom to make the decisions for your future. Because when you make those small decisions on what you're going to do or not do, that will either build or destroy your future. Because you know what? You've withstood more than people know. You've owned more things than people have seen. More scars, more challenges, more stories than people have seen. It's time to win in a way that nobody can ignore. Step up. Take your discipline. Make room. And make your next move your loudest one yet. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow. Thank you, everybody.